with knee injuries, and then Joe Noteboom left with an ankle. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure with those guys. I'm not sure. I don't know that.
Way back when in the second quarter, kind of thinking going for it, 4-4 instead of go ahead and do it.
We came here to try to win the game. I thought it was, an opportunity where we get one of our best players, guy that we have a ton of trust in, with the look that we had wanted, and we just didn't make it. But we came in here with an aggressive mindset and mentality. Didn't feel like you could settle for field goals. That's why we came up short the last time. And then ultimately, a couple of those situations is inevitably what ended up leading to us probably not finishing it out tonight. The penalty was a big one to bring the touchdown back, and then having a turnover, and then that one that you alluded to. But all those are growth opportunities for us. But we came here to be aggressive, and I wouldn't take that decision back. Yep. Oh, they were big. We got the looks that we wanted, and we got the look that we wanted on the third down as well. And you know what? That's part of it. There was a lot of great individual plays. There was a lot of guys that stepped up. I was proud of Warren McClendon. Thought A.J. Akiri coming in. I mean, you flex him up from the practice squad. Noteboom goes down. He plays the whole second half. He's going against one of the premier rushers in this league for the majority of the game. And I thought our guys did a good job of being able to help and lend some presence. But he should be proud of the way that he handled himself tonight. I'm not going to make an excuse. I mean, you have to adjust and adapt. I mean, and certainly there was a lot of things that we were planning on doing that wouldn't be smart or wise based on the circumstances that we were dealt with. But I would never make an excuse. We had our chances, and our guys gave us, those guys that were playing tonight, led by Matthew, gave us a chance. I thought Cooper made a bunch of plays, obviously. DeMarcus Robinson, Tyler Johnson has the big shallow cross that he converts for a big deal. We got a lot of hidden yards, too, with some of the PIs that ended up moving the ball down into the tight red area. And ultimately, some of these penalties, they're learning opportunities for us. But that's part of it. You have to adjust and adapt. I thought we did a fairly decent job of that. But, we came up short, and this is an opportunity for us to be able to move forward. But I am proud of this group, like I had mentioned. It's tough when you come out here and you go toe-to-toe. It's an excellent football team. I got a ton of respect for Coach Campbell and the way that they do their deal. And they ultimately closed it out, and hats off to them for doing that. Yeah, I thought they did awesome, Adam. I mean, really, even John Johnson's interception, what a freaking play by him. I mean, it's a bang-bang play right over the middle. And that was a huge momentum shift. At an opportunity, Kobe Durant ends up making a play on when we brought him as a corner blitz, and then he gets the break up on third down, almost ended up making the pick. But I thought they were great. They played hard. You could see they had him off balance. I thought Chris Shula and our defensive coaches did an excellent job, and then ultimately the players brought it to life. And we just came up short, but they definitely kept us in the game. I mean, to have 3 points at halftime, to have some of the opportunities that we missed offensively, even though we were sustaining possession, really, with the exception of the first drive where we went 3 and out, we were up and down the field, but to only come away with 3 points, that's where you're going to come up short. And I'm looking forward to looking at this tape, figuring out how I can be better for guys and how we can ultimately move forward, because we got 16 of these things guaranteed. Sure. Yeah, I mean, I thought they just got some good removal. They got some players in space versus some man coverage looks, and they made the plays. They were just getting, and Montgomery was breaking a bunch of tackles. You could really see that. But I'll go back and I'll look at the tape. I was, like I said, Jordan, I was really proud of this group. And these guys are going to be resilient. I know they wanted to come away with the result that we were hunting up, but I think there's a lot of things that we can take from this. We're a really young team, and we had a lot of things that went our way and didn't go our way tonight, and that's exactly what you expect in a football game of this magnitude against a high-caliber opponent. Yeah, he's a stud. He kept us in the game. He did a great job, and you could just see the resilience. There was a lot of reasons to think, man, this is going to be really an uphill climb to overcome some of the different things, players that we were missing, and what that regulated us, if you will, in terms of what we could really do. They did some things, give Coach Glenn a ton of credit. They decided to come out and match us in a certain personnel on early downs that they were basically daring you to say, all right, you're going to throw it to beat us. And so I was proud of Matthew. And we had our chances, and there's certainly some things, I'll always look at myself first. All right, what are some of the different decisions, better spots I could put guys in? And our players will do the same when there were some opportunities. But there was a lot of positives to take away as well. I thought Matthew was great. I really think, the one at the end of the half, we turned it over. We were operating against the clock really in a 2-minute situation. And then really, they did a good job matching up. And then the one was the penalty. I mean, we scored. It was a walk-in touchdown. And that was really, inevitably what led to us not scoring. But then we ended up coming back on the next drive that my man just alluded to. And Matthew ended up, the ball didn't touch the ground. And Cooper walks in from about 8 yards out or wherever we were. So there was a lot of good things, but you give those guys credit. They made some of the critical plays when they had to, and ultimately we didn't finish. The 4th and 4 in the first half, that was a big one as well.
Jordan, last one.
Just two starting offensive linemen healthy on your line right now. You've been here before.
Yeah.
Years ago. How do you prevent this from happening?
Well, I think, first of all, it's a choice you make in terms of let's pour into the guys. I thought Bo Limmer did a great job coming in. I mean, and that was really what he's shown throughout. Jonah Jackson going from center to guard. Those guys on the interior, I thought, really did a great job of holding their own. I thought Warren McClendon, obviously there's a couple things you guys asked about that we can learn from, but he did a nice job. And A.J. comes in as a practice squad flex, and, he's blocking Aiden Hutchinson for the majority of the game when we were heavy pass, and he gave us a chance. And so we'll see what the magnitude of those guys' injuries are. Obviously, we'll get Alaric back in a couple weeks. I think Rob's return is sooner than later. And so, I think we're developing depth, but what we're not going to do is we're not going to allow we're going to learn from the things that have occurred in previous years, Jordan. And if guys get injured, then you know what? It's our job to get those next guys ready to roll. And that's exactly what we'll do. Okay? Thanks, guys.
It was good. I thought it was a fun place to play. Crowd is into it. Obviously, a great football game that helps make the crowd get into it. Back and forth all day, so it was a good atmosphere.
And what was it like during the game, rotating in reserve offensive linemen, another center, already taking snaps from all of them at this point in practice? But what was that like for you, and did some change like that?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We're professional football players. It's what we do. It's what we practice. I was really proud of the way those guys played, to be honest with you. There were some unfortunate things that happened, up front with guys getting injured and not being able to come back in the game. And those guys battled through. We were already kind of thin at that spot, with some of the stuff going on, at our tackle position there for a little bit. So for those guys to step in and play the way they did, I was super proud of them. We dropped back and threw the ball. I don't know how many times we threw it, but we threw it, a decent amount of times today. And I thought they did a really nice job of battling. Man, it's never going to be perfect, but man, they battled. And then I think our guys on the outside that had to come in and step up when Puka couldn't come back in the game either. They really battled as well.
What's the hardest part, if there is one, about the rotation?
I mean, taking snaps from centers, but those guys were lights out today. They were great. Bo Limmer's first snap was a little high and hot, but he had some juice, which I can imagine. First snap in the NFL, pistol on the road, here we go. A little high and hot, we handled it, but the rest of the day was smooth operating. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think it kind of boils down to the last time we came here, similar circumstances, and the fact that we didn't come away with enough points in the red zone. Obviously, right before the half, had a really nice drive. I turned the ball over. I don't hate the decision, just don't like the ball that I threw. Higher and harder probably gets us a touchdown in a better spot. But, that was a tough one. We don't come away with points. Had another chance, went for it on 4th down, didn't come away with points. And then, we were on the 1 yard line and settle for 3 points too. So that was kind of the name of the game for us. Had our opportunities, but weren't able to capitalize on them. And still at the end of the game, if I can hit that ball to Cooper, we were just a little bit on different pages on where we were heading on that one, and totally understand what he was doing. It's part of the game. It's a game of football. Humbling, but fun to compete. You're good.
You went to the sideline with your hand up on top of your
Yeah.
helmet. Just
That was the game. I had a chance to win it, and there's every game there's plays you want back, and that's definitely one of them. I like to think that I can hit that throw, a bunch of times in a row. So just disappointed that we didn't get it done, but I was proud of the way we battled, man. It was like you said, some guys had to step up, and they did, and that was cool to watch and cool to see. So proud of those guys.
Speaking of Cooper, what was it like seeing him perform at the level that you've been accustomed to?
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing at practice. That's how I know who he is. It's I'd love to know what his yardage was running today. We asked him to move all over the place and handle a whole lot of things, both in the pass game and the run game. And he leads that room really well. That's why you see those other guys step in and come in and play the way they do. So proud of him, happy for him that he played the way he did today. And like myself, we just hard on ourselves and want to make every play if we possibly can. But, it's proud of the way he competed today.
how was your right ankle feeling? Looked like it took a couple days there.
I'll let you know tomorrow. Well, I won't, but.
Couple more, guys.
So, well, you can't prevent injuries, right? Like, you go out there and play. And, I think our guys are going to do everything they can to try to get back as fast as they can, and we'll see who's got what. Hopefully we can get some of our tackles back, obviously with Alaric, in a couple weeks, and maybe Rob, at some point, but we'll see. I think the best thing you can do is just go continue to push those guys, continue to operate. I'm proud of the way they competed today. I know those guys were giving it everything they had, and it showed up.
Coming back again, the jerk off chance, the booing when you come out. Are you over that? Is this just another?
I am, yeah. Fine,
Another
man.
place to play now. It's not.
Yep.
The quick passes, Matthew, the quick outs, quick release,
Yep.
things, yardage after that. Is that something that you saw in the way the Lions play that would be effective against them? As opposed to, was it something that you wanted to do because you were down a couple lines?
I think both. They were doing some unique things personnel-wise, early down stuff that, was, promoting us to throw the football, early. And when you're throwing it on early downs, the majority of the time you're just trying to stay ahead of the sticks, right? You're just trying to treat that kind of like a run play. If you get 4, you're happy. If you get 10, great. All those kind of things. So, it's just kind of the way we intended on attacking their defense, and then some of the stuff they were doing personnel-wise, it just led to more of that happening, I would assume.
What about Gary and the Sarah they did?
Well, I'll just speak to who he is as a player, right? He's really physical, got better long speed than people think. He's had an unbelievable season last year. Guy that has built up a lot of trust and equity with me just in the fact that we played together, and he's had some success. So we'll see what it is. I have no idea, to be honest with you. But he's obviously a big part of our offense, but I do think that TJ and those guys stepped in and did a really nice job today.
Despite the immediate frustrations, do you come away with this encouraged by what you guys were able to do?
Yeah, I'm encouraged with the effort. Encouraged with the effort. There's always room for improvement in execution and those things, but I'll tell you, we don't need room for improvement in effort. Our guys battled. And it's a tough environment to play in. A bunch of linemen going down, starting receiver going down, and our guys never blinked. And it was really, it was great to see those guys in the huddle. Just, hey, next play, let's go. And it wasn't easy, but found a way to get some points on the board. Just not enough to close the thing out, which is frustrating and disappointing. But we got the next week, and that'll get our attention here pretty quickly.
Do you think that is a reflection of you?
I hope I exude that. I hope that they feel that from me. That's what I try to do. obviously been doing this for a couple years, and you know, I've been through a bunch of different situations, and try to be a steadying force in there and understand, man, that I hope they know that I'm giving it everything I got on every single play, no matter what, and you know, hopefully that inspires those guys to do the same. Appreciate it.
Told us during training camp that you feel great. What did it feel like to have the success you had?
Yeah, I mean, it was good to be, feel myself. Obviously you want to come out with a W in that. I felt like the guys really fought hard. Obviously we had some guys go down and some guys step up and be able to, come in and play and fight. And so I'm really proud of the guys. I think that was a really cool positive to come out of what is obviously a very unfortunate situation and just not being able to get the W, but excited to watch the film and respond to it.
Matthew talked to us about the disappointment in himself on that 3 and 10. What was can you take us through what happened?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I know he's gonna feel like he needs to make every throw. It's tough, we had a route on and the DB went to undercut and I adjusted to cut off the undercut and try to guarantee the throw, and he saw the undercut and tried to throw it high. It's one of those situations where we're both making the right decision. It just wasn't the same decision, and so we got at the end of the day we got to find a way to make those plays. There's a few plays out there that I thought were on me to make and just wasn't able to make them. And in these games, it does come down to just a few plays. Felt like it was right there. We make those plays, and we might be a different outcome.
What did you see from him tonight that impressed you, given that
Yeah, I mean he's a competitive football player. I think that's the thing is as a young guy being able to come up and compete and challenge guys, and he's just going to continue to get better. I know as the year goes on, and you see those guys talking and the safeties they're communicating with him and trusting him, and I think that's going to be something that's going to be cool for him and just the growth that he'll have this year. But we fun to watch him from afar, but it was certainly fun competing against him. Yeah, that's obviously frustrating, but like I said, we had those opportunities to close that game out in that 4 minute. We went up, defense got us to stop, and we need to find a way to, ideally close the game out there. We make that play on 3rd down, and a few more plays, maybe potentially one more first down, might win it, and so we need to make those plays. The defense gave us an opportunity. We need to make sure we make the most of those ones, and we do that, and then overtime is it doesn't really matter. So yeah.
What was it like seeing Tyler Johnson step up in some of the
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And he's done that over and over again. You've just seen it even just last year when he was on P Squad doing stuff like that, and then what he's been doing all camp. He's just been making plays. That's why he's called playmaker, and that's kind of what he does. So not surprised in any capacity, but man, he did a great job today for us.
How do you think Matthew handled shutting off the noise coming back to Detroit again, especially after a tough playoff loss?
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job. Obviously there's an emotional piece. I think always coming back here, just as a human being, there's an emotional piece. He was here for so long, and it's where he raised his family, and so I understand. I thought he did such a good job this week, being able to just treat this like a normal week, and came in here and man, he got us in the right plays. He communicated clearly in a hostile environment, and was able to get us in and out of the right stuff. And certainly like he said, there's plays that we all want back, but I thought he did a really good job.
Especially late in the game, you guys took the lead. You guys are offensive line shuffling, moving out. He's 8 for 8 on passes on
Mhm.
Friday.
Yeah.
What can you say about his performance
Yeah.
in that?
Yeah, and that's vintage Matthew. I mean, he was, he's battling out there. I think he rolled his ankle up or something early on, but no one would know. He's not making a fuss about it or anything like that. But just, you can tell he's hurting. But man, just being able to grind things out and being able to just hop back into the huddle and snap back out of it. It almost feels unhuman what he's able to do in terms of just being able to snap out of a really dark place and be able to communicate and get us to what we need to do, and then go out there and just ball out as if nothing is happening. So that was vintage Matthew, and like I said, we want to make a few of those plays down the stretch, but you did a great job overall this game, I thought.
Is he part of that? Sometimes you call him human, and you call him inhuman. It's hard to know when he's with you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's the cool thing about football is you've got this. We're all human. You step on the field and all you see is on the field. But we all have families. We all have stuff that happens in our day-to-day lives. We still gotta, get up and make the kids their breakfast and dinners and lunches the next day. We're going through all that stuff too, and for him, he is a human and has all that stuff going. But to be able to step on the field and snap into that, like, be where your feet are, I think we say that all the time. And Matthew's got an inhuman ability to be where his feet are and lock into that moment and be the guy that we need him to be over and over again in those times. Perfect. Thanks, guys.